Oh, hello there. Welcome to our Living in Las Vegas as Real Estate and Everything Else Vegas show. I am your host, Yvonne Khoo, and my co host is coming soon. But in the meantime, I'm excited to be here. And I'm just thankful for, the summertime because everybody's more relaxed. There's no rush to go to school, and so I know that I'm really enjoying this time. To me it's like time off, but knowing my schedule, I was still up at 4:30 today this morning, and I had to get my son to hockey practice at 5:30. If you guys are watching this, I wanted to know, what time did you wake up this morning? Well, I'm sure that there's not too many moms, that are still hauling your kids to hockey at 5:30. But maybe they're playing something else. So we would love to hear from you. And the other thing that I want to talk about today is the struggles that we're going through right now. As a real estate agent, as a mom, as somebody living in Las Vegas, what are your challenges, and how are you overcoming your challenges? So, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about, you know, my challenges as a real estate agent. Recently, let's say, I just recently closed a property, and it was one of the most disgusting townhomes. So it's like a duplex, not even a townhome. It's a duplex right next to each other, and the condition was really terrible. If you don't know, I do have a messy to sold program, and what happens is um, I help sellers or their loved ones handle messy properties so that they can, get maximum pricing. I handle cash offers. We do list them and put them, let's say if it was a probate, we would list less, and then we would most likely have to go to court and get the court to approve the probate. There are two ways to do probate cases, but in this particular instance slash story that I'm going to share with you, so what happened was the gentleman who lived in this duplex, and he's owned it for a very long time. He was living by himself. He's getting older. He had a truck in the front, which I don't think he drove. I went to the property, and I just remember, that when the gentleman who owns it, the sister was in charge of that, helping him clean out the place. And the sister's husband was actually somebody who was flipping property high end properties in the Midwest. So they know a little bit about construction. Anyway, so this duplex didn't have air conditioning. It's a really old property, and the homeowner basically used a swamp cooler. So most properties out here, we don't have swamp coolers, but anyway, so we opened the moment that the brother-in-law opened the property. I've been doing this 20 years, and I've never seen a property in such a bad condition. I was like, whoa. So I wish I had a face mask on, because as I walked through the property, there was stuff everywhere. It's like the duplex, once you open it, immediately you'll see, like, the kitchen, which is basically to the left side. You have a stove, you have a sink, and then you also have like a dishwasher. I mean, sorry, the refrigerator. And then on the right side is actually like the living area with a fireplace and a couch, and the couch backed up to the window. And then if you go in a little bit further, then basically you would walk into the bedroom. And this house, you only could walk in like maybe 6 steps, and everything was piled to the brim. There's like dishes still there, and then when you look at the couch, and I could tell that the roof, had a lot of issues because it was like kind of caving in a little bit. And I was like, wow. But I mean, obviously, we look at homes, look at messy homes all day. And I was like, wow, this is definitely a challenge. Then I walk into the bedroom. There's another door at the end of the bedroom. And then you have like the bed area. Bed had everything piled on. So this sister was sending care packages to the brother, like brand new, I don't know, toilet paper, towels, brand new duvet. There was so many things, and it was just all piled up on the bed. And when you look, like the whole room is like, like you can't walk, from the doorstep of the, past the kitchen going to the bedroom. It was just like, you could see that there's mold in the ceiling, that it's been leaking. And then to the left is the bathroom / toilet and shower. It was really, really terrible. Pete, like once I got the keys, Pete and my co-host Pete. Oh, Pete, I'm talking about, you remember that really ugly town duplex that you came in to see?
Yeah, Jay said it was one of the worst he's ever seen too, right?
Yeah, it was really, really bad. So I'm just telling you about, the challenges of what we face. And, this property was like the worst condition ever. And what I did, with Pete is Pete came, Pete, did you have a face mask on at that time?
No, and I probably should have had one on.
Right? And then, so anyway, so when Pete came, it was like the second time that I went to this property. So I wasn't already like shocked. But the first time when I was there, I got a Starbucks coffee for the brother-in-law, and I was like, here's the Starbucks. And then he took me into the, to the right side. And then after we toured the right side, then he opened the left side of, because it's duplexes, right? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And I was like, whoa. Like the left side was just like a storage unit. It had all kinds of tools. Like the ceiling was also having like leaky ceiling. It was, I mean, there was like black matter on the roof, right? Like just on the ceiling. It was so bad. I
Impressive.
mean, like it really was like the worst of the worst that I've seen condition wise. So this was actually a probate case, and it was referred by my one of my referring lawyers, because I'm known for messy and difficult cases. As a real estate agent, not everybody knows how to handle this kind of properties. So yeah. Anyway, so we got an offer, and the offer, like we put it out for marketing. We got more than 100 views on this, and I had like I think maybe like 5 offers in hand. One was an
Wow.
investor offer. Pete, do you remember the ladies came and they wanted to also see the property because we did like an open house,
We
right?
did.
Yes, and then the ladies were like, "Can we see the place?" They wanted to buy it for their family, right? Because it's directly the neighbors, right? So unfortunately, properties like those, you just can't finance. So, but we did let them see it. And long story short, we couldn't find the car keys to the truck, because there was a truck in the front, and then the neighbor on the right side was like, "Hey, can we buy that truck from you?" And the sister basically said, if you Yvonne, if you find the keys, then we can let them have it. And we just couldn't find the keys. So Pete, this is what happened. We took a cash offer, right, on this deal, and they went through probate court. And in probate court, I showed up for probate court, and what happened was we had an overbidder.
Okay.
So the property was like, so I can't remember what was the starting price, but at the end of the day, we were able to get like $25,000 over the original offer. Yeah. So
but the original
from
person
this,
that put it in probate, that buyer's agent still gets compensated in Vegas.
they do. And basically, so what happened is they took the offer, went to court. I showed up to court, and we had an overbidder, and the overbidder was like, "Hey, we want this entirely, broom swept clean." And so we have this really big, messes, right? So what we did was, I called in, my most reliable junk removal service person, and his name is Hot Mess Jay. And Jay gave, the homeowner a quote. We got a few quotes, but the number that Jay gave us was the most reasonable. So he emptied the entire place, Pete.
That was a lot of stuff.
It was,
man.
oh my gosh, it was so crazy. It was so, you
That might have
can't
been 4
believe it.
trips in that dump truck of his.
At least, because you remember there's 2 units, right?
Yeah. I walked in the first one.
Yeah. So remember, so originally the gentleman who lived there, he did pass away, and that's why his sister was in charge of cleaning this out and taking care of his estate. And then his sister reached out to an attorney, and an attorney referred me. And I do come across, these kind of messy homes. And, my program is basically we clean them out for you, or we don't clean them out for you. It just depends on the offer. And either way, we have the resources. And the process is basically that, we follow the court timeline and we show up. Can you imagine if when you hire somebody who's a real estate agent, A, they don't know the process, B, they don't show up, right? It's impossible,
Yeah,
right, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not easy. It really isn't easy. But my clients who were from a different state, they were very thankful because, who is not happy when your property is a $25,000 overbid? Mm-hmm. So the moral of the story is, in the state of Nevada, there's 2 ways that you can do probate. One is by having all the beneficiaries sign off on the price. And I don't recommend that, Pete. I know that's the easiest way to do it, but that's not the best way. Because, the second way, which is the right way to do it, have to go through the probate appointment with the court. And the court is going to say, okay, 123 Easy Street, who is here to bid? And the bid starts at $1,000, and you are literally, and you know what the court judge, there's only two judges that do that, and it's always on a Wednesday or a Friday. And if there's overbidders, they have to know what they're doing too. So they have to file in court to say that, oh, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be coming in as an overbidder. Make sense? But if even they do that, it doesn't mean that they'll show up, but they gotta reserve their right to show up. So going back to, the stress, I mean, imagine your family, passed away and you're in a different state, and then, you are not like at that location. You have to rely on a real estate agent. Hire me. I will basically run the entire thing from A to Z and market it and get the most value. But I do think that it is a big pain when people, feel like they have to go through that probate, court approval process. But I think that it's fair because it protects the family's interest. Yeah. Pete, you've gone through this kind of pain before, right? Wasn't it your father passed away.
I've done two probates in Nevada, and I did one where a friend had to get like a power of attorney to sell the property, which almost felt like a probate almost, but not really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little bit different.
And then my father's passing.
Right. And then you had to hire somebody because you weren't there, right?
Wasn't there, and it was in Eastern Kentucky, and I had to get like a special attorney to do some kind of ancillary probate filing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of complicated.
Not every agent knows how to do these things. I have a legal background. I have a LLB from the UK. I am able to read the language, understand the time frames that we got to adhere to and show up at the right place. In Nevada, you can show up in the court or you can show up in person. On Zoom as well. Yeah. Pete, you want to know? I have this crazy story. Are you ready for the crazy story?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you, this is my biggest nightmare of a file. It was a divorce. It was a divorce, and they've been divorced 10 years, Pete. Husband and wife, like the kid that they have together is now an adult, and they have this property on, a single story property with like a little fountain in the front of the house with no HOA, 3-car garage, and it has a swimming pool at the back. Like, it could have been a really nice property. So when I took the listing, again, an attorney referred me, to help resolve these complex cases, right? So I met with the lady owner. So 10 years later, the lady owner had a toy boy. And the toy boy was like, oh, this is the worst case, blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting down, at the listing appointment, trying to understand how we're going to solve this problem. Because, we got to listen and we got to understand what the challenges are. So I realized that this seller, the lady seller, was a nurse. So she made great money, you know what I mean? But for some reason, her credit wasn't good enough. They couldn't buy the property. And so the court basically told us, okay, I'll just call her name is Anne, let's just say. Anne, you have to vacate the property so that your ex-husband, Ben, can come in and rehab the property so that we can sell it for top dollar. Mm-hmm. So she said, okay. In the beginning, she was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then eventually I've shown up for every single court hearing, Pete. You think I'm practicing law. I'm showing up at those court cases. Yeah, right. But anyway, I show up and finally the lawyer and both they're two lawyers, right? One lawyer representing the lady and one lawyer representing the the guy, and the lawyers don't like each other. It's not like realtors. Lawyers get completely different, okay, Pete? But anyway, so I show up at court, and finally, the judge says, all right, and you got to vacate, and then Mr., his name is Ben, you got to move in and clean out the place. So we're like, okay, great, we finally get the keys. I put a lockbox on, because I'm an agent, right? And so I'm waiting like month by month by month. The guy doesn't do anything, Pete. Yeah, he doesn't clean out the place. He's just delaying, and he's trying to fire me. He's like, oh, I don't want this lady to be the agent. But you know what? It wasn't me who, it was the guy's lawyer that picked me and the lady's lawyer that picked me. In this process, they have to give 3 realtors, and then both sides have to agree which realtor to pick. I'm just telling you. Anyway, okay. So moving on. Finally, I see this guy. I would have to drive, and he was on the east side. I would have to drive like 30 minutes just to get to the property and see, hey, are they fixing this house or not? Right? So I would report back to the lawyer, hey, they're not fixing this house. Anyway, they finally started fixing this house. And then the guy disappears. Like, we can't get a hold of him. Wow. And his lawyer is like, B went to Mexico and we can't get a hold of him. You call the number and you hear the Mexican beep, the beep, beep, like a different, not the regular ringtone. You know that they're in Mexico. All right. So anyway, so then I go to court, and then the judge is like, okay, well, he doesn't show up, so we have to postpone this case again. So then another time I go to court, and then so they both show up, Pete, husband and wife both show up, and they are, telling their side of the story, to the judge. And my God, like, they are so aggressive with the judge. I was like, whoa, like, you can't believe the drama that's like, they hate each other. They hate me because, both sides don't agree. And I'm the one in the middle. I have to work through this, Pete. It's not easy. Yeah, anyway, okay. So then finally the judge says, you got to sell it. And I'm like, here's the comps, judge. Here's the comps. And, this is the price I think we need to sell it at. The judge says, okay, I need both sides to approve, because we already have a buyer. So they approve the buyer. The girl signs it, and the guy disappears. He like completely disappears. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh. And I'm talking to his lawyer. His lawyer is looking at me. I'm looking at the lawyer. Nobody is like getting him. They call him. He don't answer. He is gone. Right? Completely gone. So remember, she already signed, he didn't sign, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, we can't do anything. So guess what? So the lawyer, his lawyer decides to get a court order from the court clerk, making the court clerk sign on his behalf. Wow. I'm telling you, it was crazy, Pete. And then so we had to get all the paperwork from the RPA, residential purchase agreement, to the duties owed, to the seller's disclosure, to the, like everything. Thank God that property didn't have an HOA, so there was no resale package. But we had to get all our the walkthrough, all of the forms that was going to finish this deal in one stack to give to the court clerk. Then once we give time, we have to wait, because the court clerk is not going to like sign it immediately. They have to read everything. it took time, and it was summertime and people were on vacation.
Yep.
Pete, this deal took more than 9 months. More than 9 months. Seriously. And I attended court more than 6 times, at least. And then at one point, the gentleman who was talking to, like, who didn't want me to represent him, he was really mean. He was like, rah, 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 rah.
He didn't give you a
And at
bad
that
Google
time,
review, huh?
oh yeah, I mean, like, anyway, I had one of my team members with me. His name is Edgar, and Edgar was there,
Edgar.
and he's like this big guy, right? Edgar's like, okay, what do you need? Like, what's going on? I had to bring my own bodyguard to this thing, Pete. I'm
Funny.
telling you, I go through the pain and the extreme, and just to make sure that I'm doing my job, and like going through the, first of all, messy home. Second of all, the legalities, and then these people hate each other, fighting with each other, hating me because they don't want to sell the house, and then because they are trying to buy the property, which they couldn't qualify. They couldn't buy it for themselves. You know what I mean? And their son couldn't buy it. Oh my G, I'm telling you. And then the lawyers, Pete, the lawyers hate each other. So there's like quadruple the hate over here. That is what it takes to sell a messy, divorced, lawyer, centric home.
Jeez. What was
I
the price point on that
know.
home anyway?
Huh? The price of the home at the end, I think it was like 400 and like around 420,000. But here's the thing, Pete. The craziest thing about it is, you remember I told you that the gentleman was supposed to rehab the house, and the buyer was buying it through an FHA loan. So what happened was the refrigerators were missing, the stove was missing, the smoke detectors were like chirping. Burp, burp, burp. We couldn't close on this loan. We needed to do an appraisal, and I knew it was going to be an issue. So you know what happened? The buyer
What happened?
went in, took a risk, and fixed the house, Pete. It was a miracle that we closed because the buyer put in the stove. The buyer put in, like all the things that was necessary for an FHA loan to close. So there's so many parties to this deal, Pete. It was insane. Vicki, our transaction coordinator, was amazing. She got all the paperwork ready. I mean, remember, again, like I told you, there's the girl who didn't want to sell, the ex-husband who didn't want to sell, the son who wants to buy but couldn't qualify, right? And then the buyer's side, the buyer's agent, and the buyer himself that had to rehab the house themselves, right? And then there is the lawyer for the girl and the lawyer for the guy and the paralegals on both sides. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and it took more than 9 months, but at the end of the day, we closed with the court clerk signing it all. Oh my gosh, it was so crazy. And I needed a bodyguard. Don't forget my bodyguard. So there was like 9 people involved just to close this
Needing a
deal.
bodyguard, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
Sounds high profile
real
there.
estate, huh?
It sounds high profile.
Real estate can be crazy. I mean, that was like one of my most insane, crazy stories. Yeah.
That reminded me of a probate where I had to change out an attorney and reassign a new one, and it cost the surviving son like another 4,000 in the deal.
Oh, because the first attorney took the lien on the work that they performed. That's probably it.
Yeah, it was bad. Paul May would probably remember it. We should get Paul May on here and talk about that too. He may remember it.
Yeah, right.
He's got some funny stories.
I mean, like, none of these are funny. Pete, I
They're not
have
funny,
a
but
story where okay, so it was a divorce file, right? And there was a TPO, which is a temporary protective order, where the husband was living in the property and the wife left the property, and the wife could not go within a, I don't know, 3 radius of the guy, and the guy never left the house, so she could not go get her stuff at the property. So to play middle person, and I this is the story about the salmon. Okay, are you ready for salmon? Okay, so this lady loves salmon, and she couldn't pack up her own stuff because she couldn't go into the house. And the gentleman who was selling the property, he wouldn't let me take photos of the house at all. He didn't want me to document the house. So it was so hard, like pulling teeth, with these divorce files. But anyway, so what happened was I had to give the girl three vendors to give her pricing to move her, pack up her stuff and move it out of the house.
Okay.
So the packers went into the house. The man was there, and he actually had his pets were pigeons, Pete.
Oh no.
Yes, I know, right?
Now.
Like, the pigeons were like the extra sweet cream on this. Anyway, so yeah, we're trying to sell a property. The people won't let us in. The girl can't go in and get her stuff. There's pigeons in this house, and showings I would have to coordinate, and beg the guy to show the property because he won't let anybody. Finally get an offer, right? And so the girl, like, I had to send somebody in to pack up all her stuff, right? And Pete, here's the kicker. Are you ready for this? Going back to the salmon. Okay. So she has a freezer full of food. And inside, it's full of salmon. And the movers forgot to empty the freezer.
That probably smells bad. There are maggots
in the
that
summertime, Pete. In the summertime. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, because I actually recommended the mover, and I'm begging the mover, can you please go back and, open the, what do you call it? Not the storage unit. And they said, hey, Yvonne, the job is done. We're not going to go back. But they said there's good news. The good news is the freezer is the last thing that went into the storage unit. So the moment you open the storage unit, the freezer was right there. So guess what? I went with trash bags to go and empty out the salmon, the chest full of salmon 3 days after they moved. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was tough, Pete. It really was. I mean, you never take a listing until you take like a probate, a messy probate home, or like a stressful divorce case where they hate each other, the attorneys hate each other, they all hate you because you're in the middle and you're trying to try to fix this problem. And then on top of it all, I mean, their pets is the pigeons, and you're like, oh, we gotta call pest control. Oh my gosh, Pete. Oh, these are all the challenges of a real estate agent. Yeah.
So it's not like the TV show.
It really kind of sounds like a TV show. There's so many parties.
Yeah, this could be a TV. This could be made for TV.
Yeah, it's just complicated. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. So,
All right.
what is it that you want to talk about, Pete?
I came from halfway across the world.
Yes, you did. You just came back from Vienna.
Yeah.
What was the best thing that you ate out there, Pete?
Well, I started filming a video with my cousin's son of eating different doner kebabs all over Vienna and Prague,
Oh my
just to
gosh.
rate them. I gave nothing like
And
above a 7.7 though.
so it wasn't good?
No, they were good. 7 is like the highest I can give them because there's no such thing as a 10 rated doner kebab.
Okay, Pete, I challenge you. We're going to go to
Okay.
Turkey.
Okay. But
When you
no,
go to
I came
Turkey,
from
you're going to be like,
I came from what is this? The 75th World Congress of this global real estate conference called FIABCI, FIABCI,
what does
and
that
it
mean?
started in Paris after World War II, and it was like the
Oh, wow.
USA, Paris, and a few other Western European teams. Like World War II just ended, and it's a bunch of real estate professors just getting together. Hey, we got to rebuild Western Europe and infrastructure and all that. Let's do this. So they've been getting together since after World War II.
75 years?
Yeah, and there's like this
Wow.
this event alone had 51 people from 51 countries attended it.
Wow.
And
What
Vienna
was
was
the
actually one of the founders, so that's why it
Oh,
was good
wow.
that Austria hosted it in Vienna this year. Next year it's in Toronto, Canada. It
Wow.
just moves
So
around the world at different places.
that is so cool. Is this your first time attending that?
No, I went. This is my second one. I went. The first one I went to was in Miami in 2023,
Oh, okay.
and
Uh-huh.
there were there's also like there were 3 EXP agents. There was Jonathan from like Palm Beach, Valerie from Largo, Tampa, Florida, and then a third one. Uh, I think her name's Connie, who from like the Bay Area. She knew all of the Daniel Ng and them.
Wow. Okay. Did you
Yeah, and then
see
I went.
other real estate agents other than the ones from EXP?
Those are the only 3 that I saw that I met that happened to say they were EXP when I said I was EXP.
Hmm. Do you, I mean, like, but you were telling me that the majority of them were developers.
Developers, architects, project managers. It's like a big list of people, just anyone related to the real estate industry.
Wow.
So, like I said, like in World War II, they were trying to repair the whole Western Europe after the war. And so now, like, there's an incoming president that is a world president that's was elected, and she's from Taiwan. She's a developer. They had like 20 or 30 people fly from Taiwan to this thing. So apparently, they are serious people that want help in the real estate world and helping their country. I don't know if it's because they got those awesome microchips or there may be war up there. I don't know, but they're just
So
really
Pete,
serious about it.
what was your main agenda going to this?
I it's my grandfather and my father. They have ancestral land in the Philippines, and I know EXP is not in Philippines, and it's different rules. And I knew that I I can attend this thing with my uncle as a delegate with the Philippines, and I did make some
Oh,
contacts
so
with the
you
potential buyers and developers.
yeah. And were you able to make some good connections?
Yeah, it did make a solid ones. Um,
I mean, that is a really, I kind of feel like that's a really good location,
you see my
to
screen?
make connections. Huh?
Yeah. Is my screen showing right
Because, I
now?
mean, your screen is not showing right now, but I see, okay,
Oh,
now
okay.
it's like changing. Yes. You can hit the plus sign and
Do you
it
see
will
like this pickled
present.
asparagus or something?
Nope, I don't see it. Nothing yet.
Oh,
Let's see. It like twitched.
it's telling me to stop share. Oh, there's
Oh,
a
yep. I can
enhance
see
picture in
your
picture.
no, I can see your drive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like your downloaded drive. Okay.
Yeah, you see some of these
So you just
photos
have to
here?
pick. Yeah, but you gotta pick one photo at a time.
Um,
Because I just see your drive.
so if I double click this, it opens up and you see different, like a breakout
Yeah.
session of guests.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you see the photo?
Not yet. I see your cursor went to the right of the screen.
Maybe it's not working.
I think
Well,
you
some of this I
double
met up with some
click.
family. I do have Filipino, Austrian relatives, cousins, and their sons and daughters there.
Mm-hmm. Filipinos are everywhere in the world.
They really are, but the thing that this FIABCI thing solves like is almost like what we're started this whole YouTube about. That affordability is one thing. It's sustainability with them to create something economical,
Got it.
sustainable, and obviously affordable because unaffordable housing affects the entire world in different ways in different places. That's what I was trying to get at.
So you were basically shown like what they were doing, right? In the different parts of the
Yeah,
world.
I saw that Austria was dealing with water issues, so they started desalination plants in Croatia and
Wow.
in the sea to help out with like a potential water shortage because of climate change. So I'm like,
Okay.
what the heck? Like, and I was on like a jet lag, but I like woke up like, wait a second, you guys are dealing with this too. It's not just us and Lake Mead drying up. So I was just
Okay.
listening to stuff like that, and then they're trying
Yeah.
to, and then different, yeah, just different things. I heard.
What were their challenges, Pete, other than
Well,
water
well,
and
the thing is
desalination?
I sat in the thing on Austria real estate,
Uh-huh.
and they have affordable housing, but it's the way their government is structured already. They already do have affordability and high quality of life, and people that like to live there. I heard it from different
Did you
types of people. Like I heard it from the people there, the audience from out of town. I even heard it from like a Ukrainian in Prague. She was telling me that on a date the last night there.
Okay, so this was a work trip plus a date.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then there was like a dinner one night. So there was a welcome night. It was at a winery. It was really
Right?
nice.
Welcome night.
Authentic
Uh-huh.
dinner, authentic dress. And then they get into little breakout sessions also during the main event. They have a keynote
Mm-hmm.
speaker. They speak English and a very famous
Mm-hmm.
presenter.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do one night like you have to wear like a tuxedo or like real formal attire called the pre-excellence,
Wow.
and that's when they present all over the world. They different people committees uh, try to vote like a amazing building or architectural achievement that fits like a lot of different categories. It checks a lot of boxes on structural, affordable, sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
and of all places, I thought Dubai would win a lot of this. No, it was Malaysia that took away so many of these awards.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's
That's why I was like, oh my
amazing.
gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
Philippines won one and Taiwan won a few, but I just know Malaysia came away with a lot
Wow. That is
of
super
mixed
cool.
use residential, commercial. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I got from that. The next year's in Toronto. I'm going to make you come. End of May.
Well, Toronto is not that far, right?
It's like the shortest thing other than that flight to Miami, like three in 2023.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we definitely should go because I kind of feel like, when you go to events like that, it opens up your brain, because sometimes I kind of feel like I am the frog at the bottom of the well, and I am only surrounded by my little well, right? So, but
Yeah.
when you attend events like that, it's like you see other people's vision and you get inspired.
Yeah, that's what happened in this thing. Well, I mean, it kind of happened in 2023. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I
Yeah.
kind of got a glimpse of it. And then this one, I took a deeper dive, and yeah, it kind of blew me away again, big time.
Wow. It sounds so different from all the conventions that we've gone to.
Yeah, this one
Like,
definitely on a global level. I felt
y-
like I was at like the Olympics or like Emmy Awards for the global real estate.
wow.
Or Malaysia just took away a ton of awards. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. But Pete, why don't you share your ancestral land that you're actually selling? Let's close this. Do you have that YouTube link?
What, the YouTube?
Yeah. Because I kind of felt like,
I wonder
it
if
wasn't just you going for a good time. You had an agenda, Pete, and that was, you're actually promoting your but land in the Philippines, the Batangas land. And how big is that? How many hectares?
well, it's only like 60s hectares, like for the family, but there's an LLC, a company that's like landlocked, and their land is not worth much. But in the whole, if when combined, they know that we could sell it for a lot more. That's why it's listed with 80. It's about 86 hectares, 214 acres.
214 acres?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
What is that
like
what is
750
that
meters
size?
of ocean frontage.
Oh, wow.
214 acres. I'm not even sure.
I mean, what is that? I mean, just to correlate, is that like the entire strip? Is that like how big it is?
Jeez, I don't know. That's bigger than Strip.
Let's chat GPT this. Come on.
She's in 214 acres.
Yeah, or I can ask Gemini. Let's see. Okay, so you said 200 and how many acres?
We do
You're frozen,
affordability,
Pete?
and what's kind of cool, I even ran into a lady from Houston last night who's trying to do downsizing, just like me in Vegas. She's doing it in Houston.
Pete, how big is this place? 200 and what? How many hectares?
It's 86 hectares.
86 hectares. Okay, so I just asked Gemini. I said, is 86 hectares, is that like the size of Summerlin? Okay, so it says it's not even close. 86 hectares is actually tiny compared to the total size of Summerlin.
Oh,
Summerlin
wow.
is
Okay, never mind.
massive. It says it
Okay.
spans 22,500 acres. 22,500 acres,
Okay, that's way
which
more.
is yeah, which is 9,100 hectares.
Okay, that's more than
Uh,
10 times.
yeah, so it says to give you a better
More than
sense of scale, 86 hectares is about 212 acres. And it's closer to the size of a couple typical master plan neighborhoods or villages. Like, in fact, just the downtown Summerlin outdoor shopping and dining district by itself is 106 acres, which is about 43 hectares. And so it's like double the size of the downtown Summerlin. So, I mean, just to understand, you know what I mean, how big it is. So it's like double the size of downtown Summerlin, 86
downtown
hectares.
Summerlin. Okay. It's a good way to explain it.
Yeah. Yeah. Double, double.
Double.
Yeah. So let me just ask, like, how big is the Red Rock Casino compared? Because, sometimes we don't understand the size, right? So I just wanted to understand what's the size. So the Red Rock Casino Resort and Spa has a footprint of roughly 60 to 70 acres. That's huge. So it translates to somewhere between 24 to 28 hectares. So Pete, if somebody is going to develop, your ancestral land, right? So you have
a resort with golf course.
Yeah, I mean, like 86, let's see, 86 divided by
You could have a port too for mooring.
And a port too. Okay. So you're looking at, you can build 3 Red Rock casinos. That's how big it is.
Jeez. We do affordable housing, so if Vegas gets too unaffordable, that's where Mesquite comes into play. And if Mesquite becomes too unaffordable, that's where there's a lot of Filipinos in Clark County. That's where a place like Philippines comes into play.
Yeah. In fact, today I was attending the AAC, which is the
Advisory Council.
The Advisory Council for EXP agents. I am a member, and there was a gentleman, and he's from the Philippines, and he basically, because he said, is anybody going to EXPCon in Paris next month? And he is going, and he's from Los Angeles, and he heard about me doing my masterminds, because I was talking about how we were sharing the information about if you wanted to buy international properties. For example, in Mexico, we have properties in Tulum that we can share to our buyers. And he said, oh my gosh, Yvonne, can I come down to your next mastermind and share selling properties in the Philippines? They have condos for sale in the Philippines. Yeah. So, I mean, we live in Las Vegas, but with your, global network, and,
your global network too.
Right. But I'm just saying you're more global than
global
me.
Network, Natalie
Right.
Salas,
Between the two of us, like literally we have access to selling properties in, Mexico,
Tulum, studio rooms,
Mexico, right? And then I mean, like we have people in Lisbon, Portugal, Spain. I mean, I have people in Greece. Weren't you working a deal in Greece?
Yeah, still am.
Yeah.
We got Kent over in Australia. I'm talking 100%. Smack to them because we play them in soccer on Friday.
Okay. And then
I'm borrowing your Zoom Friday.
Right. And I have a really good contact in New Zealand that she was running for mayor. And she's part of our network as well. I mean, anybody who needs to buy properties in Asia, we definitely have contacts, right? So Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, right? But yeah, I mean, and also EXP is expanded into South America, right? And the Caribbean countries. We literally have a WhatsApp chat group where if we said, I need an agent for X country, oh my gosh, you're going to get answers like right away. 100%. Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. I mean, yeah, we have access to all of it.
And then I got this little FIABCI global thing too, if that's not the answer.
Yeah. So we definitely, we're in Vegas, but we can definitely help with global real estate. It's so crazy.
Yeah, we can go from those selling those ugly homes and the ugly divorces and
yeah, you know what? I mean, like
No border.
It's not, how do you say, like, for me, it's about helping families. You know, I love to help family. I just closed, you know, a messy home that the tenant moved out, and I can't, you know, they didn't leave me any garage remotes that I got to take care of. But anyway, yeah, so there's always problems at the end, you know, like in the beginning the tenant moves in and it's you know, sweet deal, and then when they move out it's always something that I got to deal with. So I don't do property management, but my clients come back to me when they, you know, when they're done renting stuff out and they just want me to liquidate, you know, their asset, right?
List, yeah.
Yeah, so we just sold one in Southern Highlands. And yeah, so the new buyer is actually the sister of the real estate agent. Yes. Well, anyway, I mean, like, you know, and my clients were in Hong Kong, Pete. Talk about global real estate. My clients were in Hong Kong. They never stepped foot in Las Vegas. I picked up the keys from the property management company and basically listed it, you know, helped them throughout the entire transaction, ordered the resale package, had the, you know, demand ordered. Like, literally all they did was not, you know, Pete, they used to have to go to the American consulate to get stuff notarized, right? Now they don't need to do it. Literally all they did is, you know, here's my ID. This is my ID here. And they do a Zoom, right? For a notary Zoom. And they didn't have to come to Vegas. The money was wired straight to their bank account in Hong Kong, and the deal is done.
Wow. That's how it is.
Global real estate, Pete. Global.
Real estate, yeah.
Yeah. From my messy homes to the messy tenants to global real estate. We are here for you.
Divorce one. Jeez.
Thank you for watching the show, guys. And
thank you.
Come back next Tuesday at 5:30. So if you have a business person that you would like us to share their business and promote them, so please reach out to me or Pete. Pete, what's your phone number?
725-525-8991.
And my phone number, I'm Yvonne Khoo from EXP. My phone number is 702-819-0035. And I love working for all my messy homeowners. I really do enjoy it. I want to get maximum, you know, equity for my people.
And I'm downsizer because I watch out for mom and old mom's.
Yeah, you're the downsizer, and I'm the clean. I'm the clean out person. Right. But thank you again for watching our show.
Thanks, guys.
See you next Tuesday, 5:30. Bye.
Bye.